in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing? Welcome one, welcome all. I am fashionably late. Some of you guys can probably tell. Hopefully that's not too much of a big deal. How's everyone doing? Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Glad to have you guys in here for another week of RWBY. We're going to be getting into talking about Volume 6, Chapter 10 today. I am real... Hold on. Someone said my mic is muted. Nice try, buddy. Nice try, Chief. Okay. That actually worried me for a second. I was like, wait, what do you mean my mic's muted? No, my mic's not muted. You got me, though. How's everybody doing? How's everyone's week been so far? I did have to... So, for those of you guys who've been in here and have been to these live discussions frequently, I know there's a few people in here who aren't used to these live discussions or can't usually make these live discussions. But today, I had to push my discussion back from yesterday to today just because I had some things I had to do. Like, I had something that conflicted with the live stream schedule yesterday, so I decided to push it up by a day. So that's why I'm usually doing the discussion. That's why I'm doing today's discussion on Friday, but I usually do these discussions on Thursday. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, if this is your first time catching a live stream, or if this is your first time watching one of these kind of videos that I've been doing. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Volume 6, Chapter 10, I kind of liked the episode for a bunch of different reasons. It felt more like a setup episode for what I think, for what I'm really excited for, which is next week, especially based on the ending. And obviously there's going to be two different fights going on, like with Cordovan and Team RWBY and company, and then, you know, Blake and Yang versus Adam, it seems, is going to be what happens next week. So I'm very excited to see how all of that's going to come together. Super excited. And also we have 3 chapters left. Chapter 11, which comes out tomorrow for first members. Chapter 12, which is next week. And then the finale, actually. Yeah, the penultimate chapter is next week. So chapter 12 is next weekend. And then on the 26th is the finale. So, and the finale, the day the finale comes out is going to be crazy too, because the finale comes out on the 26th, and then Gray Haddock announced that Genlock episode 1 is going to be releasing on the 26th as well for everybody. If you're a first member, if you're a free, if you're a general public member on the RT site, the first episode is going to be up for everybody. And then if you're a first member, you're getting the first episode, which is available for everybody, and then the second episode, which is going to be first exclusive. So I am going to be swamped because I'm covering Genlock as well. Thankfully, I've seen the first episode, so I've gotten a little bit of a head start on my episode 1 video. My reaction's already recorded, and I'm working on kind of like a review for Genlock, because I'm not going to be doing live discussions for Genlock just because it's way, like, first off, the episodes are going to be like 20 minutes a pop at least. The first episode was half an hour, so the fact I don't even want to, like, let alone discuss the episode, a 30-minute episode. I don't want to screen cap a 30-minute episode, number one. And number two, I just want to focus on other things after RWBY. Like, I'm still going to focus on Genlock, but I'm going to take a step back because I want to get back into gaming. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in a couple weeks, and then, RWBY is something I want to get back to doing, and people have been requesting that ever since I kind of went on my hiatus with that when RWBY started, and then a bunch of other things too. So yeah, Genlock content is going to be coming. I'm obviously going to be focusing on that on the channel as well. But obviously that's in the future. For now, we're going to be focusing on the last few chapters as we close out Volume 6. And then most likely Volume 7 will be coming out at the end of the year. We're probably going to get a sneak peek of that at RTX. So I'm very, very excited to see everything that they have in store for us, especially Genlock. I loved the first episode of Genlock. Let's see. Hey Chelsea, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Yay, you are back. So happy to hear. So happy. I'm so excited to hear this. Also, when can I meet you? Oh, if I could meet you, my life would be complete. Well, I'm gonna be going to RTX, so I'll be able to meet some people there if they're gonna be able to go. That's the time of year where I'm actually able to meet most people from the community, whether they watch my videos or just in general, like especially meeting people that I've met previous years and the friends that I've made. So yeah, RTX is another thing too. RTX badges go on sale on Monday, so I'm gonna try to get mine too. Let's see. First time to be here, Nino Warrior, welcome. I hope you enjoy. So this episode I feel like is going to be really, really short because, the discussion at least, because like I said, realistically it felt like a 10-minute episode. There were really only 3 major scenes. There's still a lot to talk about in between what we actually got in terms of context, in terms of things we can look forward to for next week. But yeah, this very much felt like a setup episode for next week more than anything. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to minimize some things here because I have a ridiculous amount of glare on my TV. On my monitor, sorry. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Yeah, the glare is a little ridiculous. I can barely see myself in my editor right here. But yeah, what did you guys think of the chapter? First off, what do you guys think of this volume? We're 3 episodes away from the finale. I personally think Volume 6 is the best volume of the series. Like, really close contender for Volume 3 and 4, which are probably the best volumes in my opinion. But this volume has been spectacular. This volume's been great. If anything, I would say this is probably the low point episode of the volume thus far, and it's also because it was just like, it's bridging the gap between setting up for what I think next week is going to be. And then we also have the finale as well, so there's just a lot of stuff to look forward to. No, I enable slow chat when the discussion actually starts. I'm kind of focusing right now on the chat and chatting with people and kind of touching base with everyone before we dive in. Oh my god, I love Maria so much. Maria's just getting more and more savage as the volume progresses. When did the stream start? 10 minutes ago. I was fashionably late, so I was 10 minutes late, but we're 10 minutes in right now. Yeah, this episode had a lot of comedy, which is pretty ridiculous considering how serious the situation is for everybody involved right now. There was a high amount of comedy in the episode, so I was laughing my ass off the entire time. But at the same time, I'm like, Weiss is performing treason on her country, like, you know, for Atlas, and all of them are basically going to be public enemy number 1 for attacking this military base. And you got Blake, who's in like a life-threatening situation with Adam, and Yang's about to come face to face with her PTSD, the source of her PTSD, and we don't know how she's gonna react to seeing Adam physically in the moment since the fall of Beacon. And it's like everything, it's like the last thing this episode should be is funny, but it still brought funniness to the table. Which I guess the funniness was okay at the moment, but in hindsight, looking back, watching the episode again, I'm like, yeah, the tones there were 2 different tones. It's good that the crewbie can learn to combine the comedy and drama really good. Yeah, I didn't feel like it was jarring at all. It just, like, in hindsight, I'm like, everyone should be like sweating bullets right now, because if this plan fails, they're either all gonna die or they're all going to jail. So yeah. Yeah, Maria was great. Maria was fantastic. Maria is quite literally the one person that doesn't take shit from anybody.
Tomorrow, BC, I am a first member and I get to see the chapter early, and I am going to record my reaction to it. Also, KH3 coming in 18 more days. So
oh boy. Zombie Killer, when you post a message, make sure you put like a period, like proper punctuation, so Justin isn't performing a run-on sentence. That was insane. So let's see. Hell yeah, this chapter was awesome. I'm so hyped for tomorrow because I'm a first member and I get to see the chapter early. I'm also going to be recording my reaction to it. Also, KH3 in 18 more days. First and foremost, thank you, Zombie, for the $25 donation. Appreciate it. Glad to have you in the stream once again. Yeah, I know. Justin's like, run-on sentence, so... Yeah, grammar is important. Weird. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow's episode, I think, is what this episode set us up for, really. Kind of like, it's getting everyone hyped and excited about. And yeah, KH3 is in less than 3 weeks. I'm definitely going to be streaming that entire game, going through it. I'm so excited. Like, the excitement hasn't hit me. The excitement will hit me, like, the week of. Just because RWBY's occupying all of my time. Also, for those of you out there who are JRPG fans who know about the series, my Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition just came in the mail today, so I'm probably going to be playing this off stream because this is one of my favorite JRPGs. This is my first Tales game that I ever played when it originally released on the Xbox 360, and they redefined it. They gave the West all of the exclusive content that Japan had back in the day. And so I have a little bit of a game to kind of hold me down until KH3 comes out. I don't think I'm going to stream any games because I'm still focusing on RWBY and a bunch of other things on the back end between that. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm focusing on in the meantime. But with all that said, thank you guys again. Like I said, once again, for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, we're going to be getting into the discussion, and as with every discussion, slow chat will be enabled. This time, you guys don't have to remind me. So, slow chat has been enabled. That means you only get to type one comment every 45 seconds. That's to reduce the amount of engagement in the chat so I can read through everything and so my mods don't die on duty. But I hope you guys understand if this is your first time in here as well. That's kind of the gist of things, so I can read the chat, so I can kind of get through all of the comments as I'm you know, going through the discussion, and so I can read everything and point things out and respond to people accordingly. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be the discussion for Volume 6, Chapter 10. Like I said, it felt like more than anything, it felt like a setup chapter. For what we get in the next, for what we get tomorrow for first members and then next week for non-first members. But next week's, tomorrow's episode, I assume majority of you guys in the chat are first members if you're watching this before the episode's out for everyone else. But I was so hyped when it clicked in my head that Yang was on her way to Blake, and then we found out that Adam was there. I was like, yo, are we gonna get, like, a Volume 3 rematch, right? Like, a Yang versus Adam. At first, I was very hyped, because I was like, holy shit, we're getting a fight scene. Or it's going to be Yang versus Adam, or it's going to be Blake and Yang versus Adam, because now the roles kind of reversed. In the past, it was Blake who couldn't face Adam, and Yang stepped in to try to save her, and she got her arm cut off. Now, I think it's gonna be when Yang goes in, like, right now it's, Blake's obviously holding her own against Adam, but I feel like it's going to be Blake that's going to be the aggressor, and Yang is going to be the one that she needs to protect, because I really do think, like, Yang's having all of these PTSD moments. She's getting triggered by the past, and she's seeing visions of Adam, and she's freaking out. How is she going to react when she sees the real thing? You know, I think that's what they're going to go for, and then it's going to be both of them taking down Adam together. So, and their synergy's been on point ever since they got back together, especially if you watch the first episode, especially from the first episode. So, I don't know what they have in store for Adam, because I don't know what, anyways, I'm jumping ahead of the gun, okay? We're gonna get to that part of the discussion towards the end, but with all of that said, let us begin. So, I just wanted to highlight these moments here. Hold on, let me move my camera a little bit. There we go. I don't know why I really liked this setting of the military base, because we didn't get to see, like, the offsides where the airships are, and I'm like, oh, so that's where all the airships are. But yeah, I don't know why. I just liked the top scene. I just liked in the sense of, like, the environment and just showing off the base beyond what we saw at the gates a few episodes back. And then we obviously get to see the airships that they're going to be confiscating or just taking over for themselves. So I just wanted to show off this opening scene here, because I thought it was really great at showing us what the base looks like. And it's a really small base too, for a base that's meant to, like, protect Argus and the surrounding areas. I mean, they have all of those fighter ships, and we obviously know, like, they're ace in the hole within the mountain, or within that the core of the base. So it seems pretty small, but I guess it has more manpower than it appears to. Also, I don't know shit about the military, so I don't know how effective this is in terms of defending and you know, warding off enemies and things of that nature. Let's see. Sick today, but I'm glad I could make it. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. Hello, Rosa Lopez. Welcome back. Glad to see you in the chat once again. Appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Roy Clark? My boy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the dono. So I want to talk about this girl right here. There's been some speculations. I'm not willing to throw my hat into the ring necessarily, but from what I've heard, from what I've seen, from what I've talked to people about, a lot of people think that this is Neo in disguise. And it kind of makes sense, right? She has the whole illusions situation down. Volume 3, she was basically a prop to kind of blend in with the crowd. She had the medic outfit. She had the Atlas outfit when she was on the Atlas airship. So she's a master of disguise, basically. And it would make sense if she and Cinder are trying to, you know, get to Atlas. She wants to be inconspicuous. She wants to be incognito. You know, she wants to be at the right place at the right time to make the move. Or this is perfect, because while Cordovan and everybody else is dealing with RWBY, if this is in fact Neo, then it makes sense even more so that, you know, she's here, because then she can do her own thing while Cordovan was like, all Atlas military personnel stand by, don't do anything. So this is a perfect time for her to strike and to set up for whatever her and Cinder are going to do trying to get there. We also don't know if Tyrion and Watts are going to Argus to get to Atlas, or if they have their own means of getting there, because we know Watts is somewhat affiliated with Atlas, and, he's a tinkerer of sorts, so he might have his own technology to get there. He might have people on the inside that can help him and Tyrion get there. So I don't think everybody is going to be funneling into this one place to get to Atlas, especially if shit goes crazy and there's not a lot of airships available. So I do think that this makes sense for it to be Neo. Also, it wouldn't make sense for them to pan over this one random female guard for no reason other than the fact of like, hey, we have female guards on staff too, not just the Nabuk guards. And if you also notice, I mean, I don't really know if it matters or not, but all of the other guards that were in like that computer room with Cordovan were all men, like men, except for her. She was in that room as well. So I don't know. It could very well be Neo in disguise, especially since she's back in the picture. Cinder's probably like on the outskirts of the city, or maybe even in the city, just waiting for the time to strike, which is again would go according to plan for them at least. Let's see. In the middle of worms, but hey, Murder, how you doing? Also, hashtag KH3, hashtag Operation Fang. Okay, really quick. I don't mean to segue and take away from the discussion really quick, but I do want to mention this because, he just mentioned it right now. But to everybody who watched the last video that I uploaded, to everybody who helped, to everyone who spread the word, who donated and contributed, thank you guys so much for helping with that, because I didn't think that Operation Fang would go off without, would be successful 2 hours into the campaign. For those of you who don't know, I made a video a couple days ago trying to help Eruption Fang make it to his first RTX. Similarly, because I was helped by the community, I grew and I was supported by the community very early, with my channel and with RWBY Volume 3, and you guys kind of swooped in and supported me throughout everything that I did and helped me get to my first convention. And I always see Eruption Fang's videos. I watch his videos. I think he's a great content creator. I think he contributes a lot to the community in his own right, with his breakdowns and his theories and his topic videos. And I don't know, I guess in a way I kind of saw a bit of myself in him when it came to, he puts out content, he's known in the community, but he's always wanted, in the same way that he's never been to an RTX, this is going to be his first one. I was like, I want to try to help him out the same way that you guys helped me. So I am incredibly grateful for you guys helping to make that a possibility. I talked to him yesterday for about 2 hours. He couldn't believe it. He was like so ecstatic. He was really appreciative and grateful, not only to me for setting it up, but to everybody who helped. Whether you guys donated, whether you guys watched the video, spread the word, shared it, and whatnot. The goal has been met. I'm going to be picking up his RTX badge on Monday when I grab mine, because I can get more than one badge. So I'm going to buy my badge, I'm going to buy his badge, and then next week I'm going to send him the funds, and he's going to be able to set up like his plane ticket, his hotel, and he's 100% going to RTX. So thank you guys again very much for helping out with that. I don't know if he's in here watching, but me and him talked, and we kind of established a little bit more of a friendship, just based on the fact that we both make the same videos and we acknowledge each other. We don't really chat that often because, he does his own thing, I do my own thing. But it was really great to just touch base with him, help make it possible for him to go to RTX. And I love the community. I love the fact that we're able to support each other. There were even people that were like, I don't really... I appreciate Eruption Fang as a YouTuber, as a content creator. I don't really agree with his points. I feel like, his points and my points don't really mesh, but people were still willing to support him despite the fact of their difference of opinions. So I am incredibly thankful and grateful that you guys helped in the way that you guys did. I wasn't expecting it, and I was super nervous when I did that, because I didn't want I didn't want that video to be misconstrued. I didn't want people to be like, oh, you know, I didn't want people to go at, like, look at that video in a cynical perspective of, like, or a pessimistic viewpoint of, like, oh, why can't he do it? Or, you know, whatever the case might be. So I'm just really thankful for all of you guys. I'm so happy that he's going to be able to go to his first RTX, and, you know, he's going to be able to meet fans. He's going to be able to meet RT. And like I said in the video, he's never been to one. So I'm really, really happy that you guys were able to help make that possible. And again, too, like, I love the dude's videos. He's a big motivator for me. He's a big driving force for what makes me want to be a better content creator. He passed me in subs this year, so I'm a little upset about that. But at the same time, that's kind of what drives me to do bigger and better. It's because I have friendly competition like him, and, you know, other people in the community like that Kaito Dan, who make videos that I look up to them as people, and, you know, I just want to be able to try to do something and give back the same way everyone else did. But yeah, long story short, Eruption Fang's going to RTX thanks to the community. I'm very excited. I'm very happy about that. So thank you again to all of you guys who helped make that possible. And definitely go to his channel if you don't know him. If you're not subbed to him, go sub and express your excitement for him to go to, you know, being able to go to his first convention. But with all that said, random derailment. I apologize, but I felt like it was needed to be. I felt like it needed to be said just because someone brought it up during in the chat. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Josh? Dude, look what I got. Look what I got. I don't know if I'll stream it, but we'll see. If I do stream it, it definitely won't be consistent. But I'm very, very excited. Anyways, back to the discussion. So, long story short, long story short, I think this lady in disguise is Neo. She's waiting for the right time to strike. And with Team RWBY and everybody else doing their thing with Cordovan, kind of distracting her in the whole army base, I think this is the perfect time. I think this is where they're going to make their move to try to steal an airship for themselves and you know, kind of get to Atlas without anybody realizing it. So that's going to be exciting for when we officially get to Atlas, hopefully by next volume. I expect next volume, or by the end of this volume, that they'll make it to Atlas. And similar how Volume 4 was a transition volume, and then Volume 5 was their time in Mistral, it'll be the same thing going to Atlas by the end of Volume 6 into Volume 7. So there's that. So it's very clear, like, it's super ridiculous how militaristic this woman is. And I know she's just doing her job. It's just she's so abrasive, and it's hard for me to find redeeming qualities in her. The one thing that I did appreciate, the one thing that I found really, that I guess genuinely liked about her, was it seems like she has a crush on Ironwood, or she seems like she's very fond of him. You know, she's like making sure to tell, it's like, Weiss, make sure you tell Ironwood that I sent my best guards to protect you, or my best guards to escort you, and she like winked and everything. So I liked that. I like that there's a bit of a soft side to her, but she kind of hides it behind that abrasive militaristic demeanor. And obviously she really likes Winter as well. You know, she was telling Weiss like, oh, I'm so glad you're going back home. I'm so glad, you know, you've found the error of your ways, and hopefully you follow in your sister's footsteps. So she's very fond of the militaristic lifestyle. Winter obviously is a special operative, just like she is. I don't think she's a commanding officer, at least not yet. And if she is, you know, she doesn't have control of a base like Cordovan does. But it's very clear to see that there is a soft side to her. Obviously, Maria gets on her more aggressive side, so it's hard to bring those things out. But I definitely like her. She's not this completely chaotic, good character, willing to do whatever it takes to maintain order. And she is a little batshit crazy when it comes to, I guess, her ideals of Atlas, kind of looking at everybody else as inferior to the might and the will of the kingdom. So I don't know. I kind of like her a little bit. She does. It could also be like she's kissing ass, you know what I mean? But she could quite well have a thing for the general. So, Iron Daddy. Yeah, I thought of that too. I was like, I wonder if she, like, in her head, she probably thinks of him as Iron Daddy, but like on the surface, it's like general ironwood. So yeah, I think she's gonna die though. I don't know why. Maybe not die, but I think her base is gonna be absolutely devastated. I think the rate that she's going right now, she's like literally taking out quite literally the big guns. She's bringing out the big guns and she's fighting Team RWBY and everyone. Crow's there and he's got bad luck. And I just think the worst thing's gonna happen to her. I don't know if she'll die, and if she does die, it'll probably be accidental. It's not like RWBY has it out for her, like RWBY's out for blood. But I don't know. I just think like I think tension is really high, and I don't know. Either she's gonna have a close encounter, or her base is gonna be really, really like wrecked by the end of all this, or she's gonna die. I don't know. I just have that worry. And I hate the typical, like, oh, who's gonna die this volume? Like, every character doesn't need to die. Just because Pyrrha died in volume 3 doesn't mean we have to have these expectations of death every volume for the sake of shock value, or for the sake of just, like, the tension, or the tone, or the dark atmosphere of the volume. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it can't be Neo. Malachite told Cinder that the team boarded the train a few weeks back, but I'm pretty sure that it's only been 3 days since the train. Okay, it just depends on how quick they move. Just because they're weeks ahead doesn't mean that Neo and Cinder can't, cover that ground. So, it's still up in the air whether or not that is the case. It just depends on how quickly they got to Argus. But yeah, anyways, I like Cordovan a little bit more after this episode. I still think she's kind of a little batshit crazy, but she has the soft side there, and that's kind of what I liked. These guys deserve an award. These Nabuk guards were awesome. These guys were so freaking awesome. They're so funny just in how they walk, and just like the sound effects they give, like up, 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 and I don't know, they're just super over the top, and they're definitely there for the comedic value of the military base. I love these guys. They're like a crying baby. I don't know, they're just, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for. They're just, I don't know. They're, yeah, I guess they have personalities, but there's a word I'm thinking about that perfectly describes them. I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but basically, yeah, comic relief, enthusiastic, yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with enthusiastic. Stupid. They're extra, yeah. All the above. There was a word in particular that I was thinking about, but at the end of the day, they just grab my attention. Every time they're in a scene, I just want to see what they're gonna do or what they're gonna say, and they're definitely there for the comedic flow of the episode. And like I said, this episode was filled with comedy, from the Nabuk guards to Maria and everything, like at the beginning and the middle of the episode, especially with Maria and Cordo with the cashews, and that's a callback to a few episodes ago, and it just set up the punchline so well. I really, really liked it. So damn extra. Yeah. But I loved these guys. They're like, a crying baby, we must console it. And then Adrian, yo, I didn't realize this too, but the description of the episode says, like, this mission is going to take everyone's effort. Like, everyone's gonna have to help. And the freaking baby was also a part of the plan. I was not expecting that. They were like, all right, are you ready? And I already love Adrian. I love this kid so much. And I want to believe that giant wave of crying is this baby's semblance. I just want to say that that's the baby's semblance. Is just wailing like a baby. I honestly, in my head, I was like, what the heck did he just do? You know? It was his semblance, LOL. Well, I mean, if you have a semblance like that as a baby, I can only imagine what you did what you went through to unlock it. I guess being a baby. Never mind. I take that back. Such wit, such tenacity. Yeah, see, again, like, those guys, I love them. I love their personality. They're so funny. Like, they're not even trying to be funny. They're just Nabuk guards. They're just doing their thing. That's just who they are, I guess. But, I love it. I love how they're the comedic value, or the comedic relief, rather, in this high, tense moment of, like, espionage and trying to get one over on the commanding officer, trying to steal a military aircraft. And the plan was so big brain. The plan was, like, 2,000 IQ. I give Jean so much credit for this plan because in my head it didn't click until Weiss got on the train on the airship, and then I was like, oh, so she's gonna fly out. They're gonna take the comms tower down, or the relay tower down, and then she's gonna like, she's gonna basically like take over the airship, and then they're gonna loop back around. I was like, oh my god, that plan is so perfect. But of course, there was a monkey wrench thrown in there, despite the monkey wrench being a bullfaunus. Dude, I was like, I was so impressed by that plan, because in the whole time I was like, how are they gonna do it? There's no way they're gonna actually steal a ship from the military base. And then lo and behold, the episode starts, and that's exactly what they're doing. But from everything, like putting Maria in the suitcase, to, you know, making sure that Blake was the character that went to the tower because, you know, she's the ninja of the group. She's all about the stealth. I really liked how it would have worked out so well. It's like a galaxy brain plan, but yeah, the monkey, like, Blake just got intercepted, so the plan fell apart really quickly. But I loved the potential of the plan more than anything. Whoa, hold on, what is this? Oh, okay. So Adrian was great. Love the kid. And then, yeah, this is the again, like I said, the organized plan. Everybody else was just waiting for stuff to happen, which I guess in a way, if someone else went with Blake, I guess they could have made it happen, but Bumblebee is only big enough for 2 people, and they obviously, Yang needs to ride the bike because it's her bike, and also I'm pretty sure she's the only one who knows how to ride a motorcycle. And then, you know, Blake's her teammate, and it makes sense because Blake's the one that's going to be going and doing you know, everything else that goes down over there. So again, all of the pieces were set. That's why Yang couldn't go, because Yang isn't a good stealthy person. She shoots first, asks questions later, and she would just tip off everybody else, especially if she was there when Adam was there. So yeah, like I said, it would have been great if they had backup, but at the end of the day,
we will both do this together.
Hey! Clint Fole, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it. Clint Fole, Flint Cole, that's great. I like that. Yeah, it's the first letters are reversed. It's Flint Cole, but Clint Fole. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, like I said, the plan was Galaxy Brain. It is just Adam came up. And it's great. It's crazy, too, because Adam's been irrelevant since the volume has started, even though the series started off with the Adam character short. So yeah, that was great. And again, oh my god, they did this so well. They set up everything so well. They told us in the episode where we got, you know, we got introduced to Saffron and Terracotta. She was like, Terra's a technician for the town's relay system. Unfortunately, the relay tower is also located there. They set up everything so well leading up to the episode, because then it makes sense of like, why are you getting this lady involved? Oh yeah, because she works there, and she's telling them like which one they need to focus on, which one to take down. This conversation never happened. I just really liked how the plan would have been perfect if Adam didn't show up. And that's why it's like, I love it. I love the plan. I love that the potential of the planning of it all. It broke apart, unfortunately. Fucking Adam, man. Never happened. And yeah, I think she references like, I think Blake was referencing like the train, because she was like, "Don't worry, this isn't the first time I've dealt with Atlas security." And the only time I can remember that she directly dealt with that was like, you know, she took out the Atlas, you know, drones on the train in her trailer. Or like the rest of the White Fang when they infiltrated the Schnee Dust Company in the Adam short, but she wasn't in that one. But, you know, who's to say she hasn't been on missions like that in the past, you know? So this could have been at any given point in the past that we just haven't seen, because she was a part of the White Fang. Those are Avengers earpieces? Wait, what? But yeah, like I said, everything was set up great. Yang was getting Blake to the rendezvous point. Yang decided to stay back because she's not exactly the most tactful or the most delicate when it comes to these situations of being stealthy. And I don't know why she was like, really? You're really going to tell me that I'm not good at stealth? It's like, you're not good at stealth. You know, Blake obviously is a lot better at it, and, you know, she's the ninja cat. She lands on her feet for the most part. She didn't land on her feet at the end of the episode, but you get the idea. When you have a Birdman and don't send him, I know, Crow could have literally just turned into a bird, flew to the top, took down the relay tower, GG, let's go. But he also has the bad luck, and you never know what could happen because of that. So I can understand why they wouldn't want to risk bringing him, because Crow wasn't even a part of the plan. They were like, Crow, stay by that tree and don't do anything, because, you know, he's basically an RNG. He's basically RNG, and anything could happen if he gets in the way. When the Birdman has bad luck, yeah. It's just, like I said, the plan was the best that I think it could have been, because, like, what's Nora gonna do? What's Ren gonna do? Ren's semblance can't help them out. Nora's semblance can't help them out. Them being in those situations, it really was the plan was really between two people. It was between Weiss and Blake. Weiss taking over the airship and circling back around, and Blake making sure that no one would be able to detect them on the radars. And, again, Adam. The reason for Adam's the answer to everything in this discussion, by the way. I'm always going to loop it back to him, because he showed up at the perfect fucking time. It was so upsetting when I was like, God damn it, the plan's going to shit because of this man. So yeah, I definitely liked the execution of everything, and I liked the twist of Adam showing up at the perfect time, and now that's going to be the setup for next week's. That's also the reason why I like that this, like, it wasn't just a setup episode. It was like, okay, we're going to attempt to get to Atlas, and it didn't work, so now they have to improvise. And that, in turn, is simultaneously set up for next week, because I think tomorrow's episode is going to be very, very interesting for Blake and Yang in particular. And then them two in general. I've also seen, you know, a bunch of people, obviously, you know, wherever you go talking about these two characters, there's going to be positive reception, and then, I don't want to say negative, but just controversial, just based on the whole Bumblebee situation. But this is a strong contender for strengthening Blake and Yang's relationship, because the commonality between both of their struggles has been Adam. And now the thing that has been the bane of their life well, at least for Blake, Adam's been the bane of her existence since she's left the White Fang, and Yang's been struggling with the mental perception of Adam and what he did to her since Volume 3. So at least a year she's been dealing with this. And for both of them to come together, and I said this when the series started, when the intro first came out, and you see Blake and Yang on the train, like Yang's like looking out the window, and you see the image of Adam in the window. I said during my reaction of that, I was like, Adam is going to be what brings them together. And I don't know, I can't picture them killing him. I can't picture Blake or Yang killing somebody. Ultimately, if it's in self-defense, I can see Yang, like, giving him, like, the work if she can kind of snap out of whatever she's going to deal with when she sees him. If she can get her shit together, if Blake can keep her composed in the face of Adam and get her to realize that they can both take him down if they work together, and that he's their nightmare that they have to deal with in order to progress with their life as teammates or whatever the case might be between them two. I think at the very least they have to just like incapacitate him. I can't see them killing Adam, but at the same time, I don't know what other purpose Adam would serve unless he just decides to give in and to let go of the past and to be a better person and go on this. But he can't. Like he's the result of so much in the White Fang that's been wrong with the White Fang, because he's decided to be this radical extremist who's decided to favor killing and living through fear-mongering over, doing what Gira would have wanted. He's caused too much pain, he's caused too much bloodshed, and, unlike Ilya was just, she ultimately was manipulated. I don't think she's ever done anything to the extent of no going back. So, arrest his ass or something. But then again, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I have no idea what they're going to do with Adam. And if this is like his defeat, he needs to go out like a champ. And we also need to see his damn eyes. I don't think they're silver eyes at this point. I ultimately think, I mean, we'll get into that a little bit more into the latter half, but that's kind of just setting up for what I want to talk about more with Adam moving forward. I'm reading some of your guys' responses to what I just said. Obsidian, thank you very much for the donation. Hey Arnold, here's a little thanks for being you. You've inspired me to really push myself to be successful. Don't ever change, man. Appreciate it very much, dude. Glad to have you in the discussion. Appreciate the kind words, man. Hope you're doing well. Adam rocking that Daredevil cosplay. Yeah, he looks cool. He looks awesome. It makes sense, right? Like, the White Fang is no more. Why would you wear a White Fang mask, despite the fact that he started the trend of wearing the masks in the first place? But yeah, it's like, if you don't associate with the White Fang anymore, change it up. Do something different. But then at that point, it's like, why are you still hiding your eyes? If the mask was a representation of the White Fang, and you no longer associate with the White Fang, you would think just throwing the mask away and getting over, throwing the mask away would be enough. But he's still willing to cover his eyes, which means there's something more there. I don't think it has to do with silver eyes at this point, because, like, who the fuck cares? We know about the silver eyes now from Maria. We know Ruby's going to be channeling it a little bit more in the future. It just wouldn't make sense now for him to have it, just based on the context that we have over the last few episodes with the silver eyes in general. I honestly think it's more relevant to Adam, especially if he's arrested and escorted to Atlas. I don't know why they would escort him to Atlas, though. Like, unless that's where all inmates go, But I think sending him to Atlas would make things worse, because then it's like, he's going along with the plot, and he's gonna make a comeback, I mean, that, I guess, right there, I just answered my own question, if that's the case, but I don't know. Like, where did they send, who is it, Corsac? Was it Corsac or Fennec that died? They sent the other brother most definitely got arrested. Let's see. Hey there, Arnold. First time I joined the stream. Love your reactions, and I love the in-depth discussions you do. Keep it up, man. Thank you. Alana Wolf, welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. I'm kind of rambling right now, talking about the whole Blake and Adam moment. I liked this scene as well. Jean still being Jean. Ren and Nora giving him his moment, like, oh boy, he's trying to be this covert operation, like, military special operatives unit, like, going by code names and all that other stuff. But at the same time, he's just our dorky Jean. And despite, the tears, and despite the hard times, and despite, him having that chip on his shoulder, and the weight of Pyrrha's death and everything on him, the conversation with the red-haired woman, with his teammates, I think we have our Jean back. At least for right now. I don't know how he's gonna feel when he sees Cinder again. Those emotions can definitely resurface after the fact, especially if he feels more secure in dealing with her. But at the very least, he'll have his teammates next time around. He won't try to go all gung-ho in the name of revenge without consulting, Ren or Nora, especially since if it wasn't for Ruby Silver Eyes, his ass would be dead. Most definitely, Cinder would have killed him too. But very happy to see Jean playing pretend, and Ren and Nora, giving him his moment. I love that. I love this trio so much, especially after the last episode of them seeing Pyrrha's statue and kind of giving their thoughts and unifying more as Team Juniper. So I really appreciated seeing that. But goddamn, this plan was so perfect. It was so good. This plan was so good, man. And I didn't think of it until this moment when I saw all of the signals go offline. I'm like, oh, so she's gonna just yoink this ship off of these two guys, circle it back around and pick up everyone, and then Blake's gonna be the cat ninja, and she's gonna take down the system, or she's gonna take down the tower signal, so that way they can't get detected. That would have been so good. Adam, why'd you have to show up? I understand why you had to show up, because, they're not going to show a character short and feature you in the first episode and then put it to bed, Oh, yeah, I also like the traitor, like the guard who was like, traitor! And yeah, she literally, by doing this, Weiss, I don't know how the law works in the world of Remnant, but if you commit treason in our world, if you commit treason in your country, you get killed. Like the penalty is death. If you commit treason on your country, you die. And so, like, Weiss just did that. She just committed treason on Atlas, which is where she's from. And I have no idea how Ironwood's gonna respond to that if he finds out. I don't know how. Maybe in the U.S., but not. Yeah, I think in the U.S. Yeah, I'm speaking for the U.S. because that's where I'm from. But yeah, if you commit treason in the U.S., your ass is on the chopping block. But yeah, I can't imagine what Ironwood's response is going to be to that, especially since it seems like he's not okay in the head right now. I don't know what her father's going to think about that. It's just if word gets back to them, because the Nabuk guards, they're like out at sea right now at this point. They're up a creek with no paddle. And you have the military base, and you have all the civilians who are eyewitnesses. This is going to make things so worse. This is going to make things so much worse. You have all these eyewitnesses that are going to be like, it was a girl in red, and it was this boy, and their teacher, and they took over the base. They tried taking over the base, and they attacked the base, and they stole the ship. I can easily see them spinning this story to make it seem like Atlas had no choice but to attack, but to retaliate. And then they're going to just, like, wage war on everybody. I swear to God, Atlas already has an itchy trigger finger. They already have this trigger finger that they're waiting. Like, they need an excuse. They need someone to give them an excuse. And that's why Cordovan, she's like, fuck the fighter jets. I'm just going to go for the big Genlock mech that I have planted and stored away in my fortress here. And I'm just going to flex on everybody. So, oh my God. I really do think that that's what's going to happen now. I really think that Atlas is just going to be like, we don't know who to trust. Everyone thinks that we're responsible for the Bafala Beacon. Everyone's pointing their guns at us, so we're just going to shoot first. I really, and Ironwood, like, I can only imagine what that guy looks like. I have it in my head that Ironwood is literally like, hasn't slept in like 2 weeks. Hold on.
Hey Arnold, I made a bet with my sister Laura, who's watching. Say
Ooh,
hi.
hello, Laura.
Yang will pull a future Gohan during the fight next episode by taking off her mechanical arm, facing her PTSD head on, and then beating the shit out of Adam. Any thoughts?
I don't think so. Personally, if they make it seem like Yang is able to see Adam for the first time since the fall of Beacon, since getting her arm cut off, when she's freaked the fuck out, dropping a cup, freaked her the fuck out. Seeing a tree in the, like, outside and envisioning Adam freaked her the fuck out. But then seeing Adam, and she's just like, nothing can stop me now, and she just beats the shit out of him. It's so, it defeats the purpose of everything that they've been building up for her. And I don't think that it would be smart for them to do that. Because then it just, like, what's the purpose? What it makes everything that we've seen, it makes the struggle of what she's dealt with this whole time pointless. That's why I think Blake will be there to be her shield, to protect her in the same way that Yang protect Blake in Volume 3. Except, hopefully, no one gets dismembered. But yeah, going back to my mindset of Ironwood, I swear to God, I feel like this guy, when we see him, he's gonna be, like, fully bearded. He's gonna look like he's gonna have, like, bloodshot eyes, like he hasn't slept in weeks, and he's just gonna be, like, off his rock. He's gonna be mad with power, I think. I think that's the Ironwood we're gonna get, and he's gonna be like, no one leaves, no one comes in, nobody leaves, no dust embargo, no selling, no trading. He's almost gonna be like, I feel like even the people of Atlas are gonna be like, okay, Ironwood, you're literally holding us prisoner. I really think he's just gonna be batshit crazy by the time we see him. And it's all based on fear.
Hey, I just got here. Can
Hey,
you
what's up,
start over
Louie?
from the beginning, please? Tongue love you, Arnold.
Come
Also,
on.
are you planning on doing a meetup at RTX?
Yeah, I do an RTX meetup every year, usually at the Hilton Hotel where I stay. But yeah, I'm sorry. I've been discussing for an hour already, so at the very least, the stream will be up after the fact if you want to catch up on what I've discussed so far. But thank you for joining. Thank you for the donation. Also Delta Raven 97, thank you for the donation. And say hi to your sister Laura for me, or if she's watching this, hi Laura. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Hopefully my rambling isn't bothering you too much, because that's what I'm known for around these parts. But yeah, I don't think Yang, she can't. There's no fucking way that she can just look at Adam and be like, that's not how PTSD works. You don't just wake up one day and say to yourself, I'm not going to be depressed anymore, or I'm not going to, it's a bigger hurdle to get over, and you need people, and you need like a strong support system to help you get through stuff like that, especially when she's going to be face to face with him. She should be terrified when she sees Adam, and I hope they go for that, and I want to see how Blake is going to be there for Yang now. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Yang just be like, oh, I'm going to fuck you up because you cut my arm off. You know, I don't want that. And I think it's better for the story if it pans out that way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that all unfolds. But yeah, like I said, this plan was great. God bless this woman. I've loved Maria from the second we got, like, the first dialogue with her and Yang, right? And she's like, she's like, my name is Maria Calavera, and I'm not defenseless. I'm just a little hard of hearing and blind without my, like, she just takes no shit from anybody. She's the typical old person that's like, look, I've lived my life, I've paid my dues, I've paid my taxes, I've given back to my community, my country, let me live out the rest of my life the way I want to, not taking shit from anybody, and you know, just being that person, and I love it. I love it so much. I love her sass. I love how vindictive she is at Cordo. Like, I swear to God, they're not enemies. I feel like they're just friends that express how much they care about each other through driving the other one up a wall. And I love Maria. I love her so much. She's so funny. She's great. She's got a great personality. She's serious when she needs to be, right? Like when she was actually trying to mentor Ruby on the Silver Eyes. Yeah, that's a time to be wise. That's a time to give, you know, to pass your wisdom and to actually, you know, be a role model for the next generation. So she's got both you know, she's not this old bitter woman who just hates life and just needs to die already. You know, I love her. She may be old, but she's very much full of life. And I loved this entire scene. And like she was sassing Weiss too. She was like, up, no talking back. Respect your elders, young lady. I'm piloting this ship. I'm the Grim Reaper. I can do whatever I want. So I love Maria. Absolutely love it. And it made sense too, because I think when I started the episode, I was like, Oh, another thing too, that lady that I mentioned that I thought would be Neo, it would also make sense for it to be her because she can fly an airship. Because she flew the airship when they took Mercury off of the out of the arena after like he faked, you know, Yang breaking his leg. She was the one that was flying the airship to get them out of there. So again, it would make sense if Neo's already here because she can actually fly a ship. So makes sense. But my God. This was cool too, this whole sensory array situation. I was like, she literally just became one with the airship. She can like, I guess she sees what the ship sees now. It's crazy technology. And it was just so convenient that they had like, they had like a USB chip thing that she just like plants on her glasses. And everything just talks to each other. Like Atlas technology, it's like your glasses can sync up with the airship. Like, what the hell? But it worked, and it was super cool to see. That was awesome. But oh my God, this whole interaction, I love Maria. This part too, when she's like doing like the whole airship jargon, she's like, feel free to gaff off, which that basically translates to feel free to fuck off and leave us alone and do your own thing and don't pay attention to us. And they just responded with, yo, we're not stupid. I really liked Maria. She cracked me up. And again, this is a big part of the comedy aspect of the episode. At first it was the Nabuk guards, and then it translated really well into Maria and her little skirmish with Cordovan. And then the cashews. This was like next level savagery. She brought an entire bag of cashews just to prove the point. She's like, I don't give a shit what you're saying. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm crazy. I'm old. I don't give a damn. I loved her. She was like, you hear that? That's the sound of me not caring. Despite the fact that she can just shoot your ass out of the sky, and then you want to turn around and be like, she's lost her marbles. Like, what makes you, like, I wonder why. Probably because you're rubbing it in her face. I loved this scene, though. I see someone in the chat that said, like, she's like the troll master. Yeah, king troll, or queen of the trolls. This was just great. And you could just, it's so gross. So one of my biggest pet peeves, I love how vindictive Maria is, but one thing that I'm like cringing just thinking about it because I'm seeing the scene. I just have this irrational, like, displeasure of seeing and hearing people chew their food. Oh my God, I can't even like look at that freaking image now because it's like you see the saliva and you see like the crunching and the cashews breaking down, and I'm like, I get so irrationally like furious when I hear it. And don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me if you ever see me. I can't. I just lose all like logic and rationality. Not like I don't go into like a blind fury and just want to fight everybody around me. But I can't help wanting to tell the person, like, hey, I don't like what you're doing. Please stop doing what you're doing. Because I don't want to be an asshole. And obviously, people aren't doing it on purpose. It's just like a habit. But I can't stand that. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. When you chew, close your mouth. I don't want to see the food doing its thing. You know, I don't want to see mechanical and chemical breakdowns in real time. But yeah, like that scene, like I can't even like look at it now because I'm just like so in tune with the fact that I dislike that. It was funny as hell. It was funny as hell when I first saw it. That's the last thing that I thought of. But then going back to it, it's just like, why? I understand why Maria's doing it, but in general, I'm just like, why are you doing that? Come on now. I don't need to see that. But yeah, turn the GIF off. I mean, I don't mind it. It's there for the sake of the discussion. I just don't like it. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this off now. But yeah, I'm sorry if you chew with your food. Chew with your food, Jesus Christ. Put that on a t-shirt. No, I'm sorry if you do chew with your mouth open or just chew in that way. I just don't like it. I have nothing against you. It's just the habit that I don't like. New Discord GIF avatar? Nah, fam. Not around these parts. Let's see. Delta Charlie, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. They could have salvaged the situation by calling in a medical mayday, and only knock out the guards. Everybody gets on Cordo's good side and maybe gets everyone to Atlas with little effort. Gotta chew out loud now. Please don't. Do not. I swear to God. I mean, this is like the Streisand effect now. Like, now that I've told everyone, I'm trying to, like, keep it, like, under wraps, and it's just gonna make matters worse. And before you know it, everyone's gonna be doing it now out of spite. So yeah. Sorry you don't inhale your food. Look, I'm just not out here, like, broadcasting to the world and to people around me that I'm eating. It's just like, I'm eating, I put the food in my mouth, I chew with my mouth closed, I swallow, and I go about my business. I'm not over here like... I hate that! It doesn't sound bad when I do it, because I'm doing it. But, like, I don't like that. I'm sorry for everybody, for anyone if that triggered you, by the way. But yeah, ASMR, by the way. I don't like that at all. Like, anyways, let's move on. Okay, this is one thing that I didn't like. This is one thing that I didn't like. I watched it in my reaction and I tolerated it when it happened. But when it came back around, like when I rewatched the episode, I was just like, why? I'm lagging so bad right now. Refresh! I have not dropped any frames, so I don't think it's me. And I get it. I don't like talking bad about this. I mean, obviously, I'll say something that I don't like. That's fine, but I felt like Ruby's speech to Crow was so forced. The last episode, I liked that in the moment, right? Because Crow was, like, trying to distance himself from everybody. And, like, you would think when Ruby told him off at that moment, the night before this moment, you would think, okay, Crow has it in, like, it's like, okay, Crow's on board. But then, like, he has, like, this breakdown again. He's like, you know, like, you never should have came. I never should have brought you guys. You guys should have never came. I should have never brought you guys. This is all my fault. And I'm like, Crow, like, I felt like it was just an excuse to kind of give more of this team leader speech. And after rewatching it, like, I don't, that seems just like Ruby already gave this man a speech in the last episode, and now she's doing it again. And again, he seems to be complying with what she's saying. I don't know. I just felt like it was very forced, and I don't know. Am I the only one that thinks that? Do you guys does anyone not agree? Okay, good. There's somebody else that said I agree. As long as one other person said it, okay. I feel a little bit. I don't feel as self-conscious. Yeah, it just felt like out of place. I'm like, Ruby, you've already explained yourself to Crow, and Crow needs to, like, I get it. Your whole life came crumbling down when when Ozpin lied to you. You've been drinking, you know, as a coping mechanism for it. You know, you're blaming yourself for everything. Oh, that's another thing too that I thought about. I noticed how the one thing that I did take away from this, you know, Ruby being optimistic and kind of showing Crow the light at the end of the tunnel was, I'm wondering now if Crow's semblance is bad luck. Because Crow's always, like, beating himself up. He was born in a tribe with, like, murderers and thieves. And, like, that's just in general, that's just a bad environment to be in. So, obviously, your outlook on the situation is going to be negative. I wonder if his semblance is more based on, like, probability. Like, if you're happy, good things will come your way. If you're depressed and drinking and negative, then bad things will come your way. And it's like the law of attraction. Like, whether you think you can do something or whether you think you can't do something, you're right either way. Like, if you think you can't do something, then guess what? You're right, you can't do it. If you think you can do something, then that means you can do it. I wonder if that'd be so cool in a way, because like right now, more than anything, like Crow's like down in the dumps. So if he starts viewing things optimistically, maybe that would change it's like a paradigm shift. It's like, start looking at life from a different angle, and maybe shit will actually start going your way. Instead of you screaming and crying, woe is me, I'm like, nothing goes my way, everyone else is to blame, this is just my life, I have to live with it, nothing will change. Then yeah, that's you take in what you dish out. Or how's the saying go? You basically have to like speak it into existence. Do you know the scientific term of bad luck? Isn't it like it's like probability? It's like it's all a matter of chance. Yeah, you get what you give. There you go. There you go. Someone in the chat said his semblance is a placebo. Kevin Tran. Yeah, basically. That's funny. But yeah, like I wonder, that would be interesting though, because Crow, for the most part, like he already like, first off, stop drinking and see if there's any drastic changes with that. Just quit cold turkey. Find other forms of coping with your emotions, with your feelings. Talk to somebody, right? RWBY left the door open for you to talk with her if you're ever feeling like you need to talk to somebody about something. And Yang's always there too. God forbid you talk to your actual blood niece. I don't think, like, he hasn't talked to Yang once. And I'm just like, God damn, we get it. We get that, like, RWBY's more like, you know, RWBY has a more of a connection with Crow because, you know, she's impressionable and she looks up to him and all that. But, like, God forbid Yang actually talks to him. The older one, the one you would think that's more mature about the situation and would be saying what her sister is saying. Granted, she wasn't in this scene, but in general. But yeah. Someone tell Crow good luck. Well, yeah, his semblance is bad luck. That's how it was introduced. But as we know, semblances evolve and they change and they manifest as the more you use it. Does Crow's semblance only garner more bad luck, or does it evolve and create like a spectrum of luck? Like like good fortune and misfortune. You know what I mean? Maybe he started off bad luck. Like, maybe when he unlocked his semblance, that's where it started, as bad luck. And the more you use it, it then evolves into not just general bad luck, but just luck in general. The good kind and the bad kind. That would be kind of cool. And I remember when Crow and Raven, when people were initially speculating what their semblances were, people were saying, like, Crows represent bad luck and Ravens represent good luck. So my idea at that time was like, okay, it would make sense if Crow had bad luck and Raven had good luck, because first off, they're twins, so it would make sense if their semblances paralleled each other. And it would also make sense if Raven's bad luck counteracted Crow's good luck. So Raven leaving Team Stark would mean that Crow's bad luck just manifested and proliferated to everybody else. That probably is what got Summer killed. That's probably why, like, the team dispersed and everything else, and why his life is so miserable. But obviously that's not the case with I mean, it could be from his perspective, but obviously she doesn't have good luck, so that theory doesn't exactly hold up. But yeah, long story short, because I'm rambling again, I understand what they were trying to do with RWBY here. They're expressing and trying to they're trying to, I think at this point, like, beat a dead horse at telling us RWBY, we've given RWBY development. RWBY has definitely grown as a character this volume. She's she's more self-aware, you know, she has a lot more agency. You know, she's taking the reins a lot more. She has that initiative, and she's learning to become more of a leader, and, you know, to set an example for the people that follow her. And I get that, and they don't have to express it in a motivational speech every. I'm not saying they do it every episode, but you just did it last episode, and we've been getting the point the whole volume. So to do it again at this point felt a little forced, I will admit, but at the same time, it doesn't take away from the fact that Ruby still grew enough to say that to Crow. I just felt like it was too soon, or maybe the time wasn't right, or maybe Crow's expression of his feelings was a little forced, and it kind of forced that situation to happen. I don't know. I'm rambling, but those are just my thoughts. Yeah, so this mech, the citizens are gonna see it, and they're gonna spread rumors, and they're gonna be like, someone attacked the base. Atlas was protecting us. Everybody else is bad. Atlas, wage war. Defend us. So that's like one thing I think. I think this is gonna spread like unnecessary like propaganda and rumors, and it's gonna spin the story. Number one. Number two, everyone here is probably like is worried, like, what the hell's going on? Why is she like, what the hell's going on? This is probably gonna create like, I don't want Grimm to start showing up, which this is a pretty well-off city. You know, it has like a giant wall protecting it. It has like the mountain ranges on the side, and then the shallow sea behind them, or the shallow ocean. I don't want to say shallow sea because that's actually a fairy tale, but it has like the ocean like against their back. So they seem well guarded from Grimm. I just hope that like everyone being like, what the hell's going on, doesn't like create a spike in negativity or a spike in Grimm attraction. So yeah, you got Cordovan over here flexing her muscles, showing off the big guns, just gets straight to the point and is like, you know what? I'm going to show you guys what it means to fuck with me. Basically is what she's saying. Excuse my French. But yeah, 0 to 100 real quick. Exactly, Sui, Inspector. She was just like, no, chill. And I think that's because Maria, like, pushed her over the edge, and Weiss was like, Maria isn't helping. Like, thanks a lot, Maria. Like, this is the reason why she's doing this, because you pissed her off to the point that she has to make an example out of you. I mean, I don't regret Maria doing it. It was funny as hell. But, like, look what you have to deal with now. Must destroy cashews. And she's just doing her job. You know what I mean? Like, she's incredibly patriotic. You know, can you blame the woman? I mean, she seems a little on like the extremes of being patriotic, like to the point where like, my country's better than yours. Everyone should bow down, should kiss the ground we walk on, and you know what I mean? Like, she's a little extreme when it comes to her patriotism. But at the same time, Ironwood gave her the goal of like, hey, you're in charge of this military base. Do not authorize anyone permission to you know, to travel. You know, obviously Weiss being an exception. And she's just doing her job. Everybody else is jumping in and like, hey, let's steal a military aircraft and try our luck. You know, what's she supposed to do? Thanks to Maria provoking Caroline, Weiss's life is put in more danger. Yeah. I mean, Weiss knew what to expect. Weiss committed treason. So she has that danger. Like, that danger is going to be on her regardless. And that's the thing. Like, the bigger picture to look at here, and Eruption Fang mentions it too in his video, is like, Weiss committed treason, and they literally are like, that's where I think that's where I think like the comedy is just like, there's nothing funny about this. Like, you guys are literally gonna die or get arrested, or something's gonna happen as a result of you guys like fighting the military for the sake. I mean, I know it's like they have this bigger than life mission. The mission to save the world. You know, they know about the relics. This is a minor consequence compared to what Salem will do if she gets all the relics. So I get that. I get it's like, well, it's the lesser of two evils at that point. But still, it's like, this is fucking huge. And everyone's just like nonchalant about it. Patriotism to the extreme. Yeah. One thing that I will say, I thought this was kind of cool. This giant cannon. And then I immediately thought, if Nora's gonna be important during this fight, because it seems like the cannon shoots out like electric dust, like lightning dust or electricity, and Nora gets juiced up by that. So I wonder if Nora's gonna just like get a super boost out of this attack, and if she's gonna be like the powerhouse that takes down Cordovan. Weiss needs, you know, Ruby also mentioned to Weiss, like, oh, I need you on the ground to help me take this thing out. So Weiss might actually summon for the first time this volume, which is kind of great how she's been reserving using her summon, because last volume, she couldn't stop using it. She was using it every chance she got, and it kind of felt like she was spamming it and not really thinking critically about, like Weiss, you have the most broken semblance in the show, or one of the most versatile semblances that you can do, like, 20 different things with it, and you're just choosing summon over and over again. So the fact that they've held off on using it for this long, I think we're gonna get like a Pacific Rim fight going on, like a giant, like Weiss's giant, like soldier knight summon versus Cordovan's giant mech. We're gonna get like some Pacific Rim going on. That attack might be too much for Nora to handle. I mean, we don't know if does she even have a threshold? Because she can also produce electricity. So it's like, if she can handle it, then more power to you. You know, it's like, why not try it? Especially if Jean can amplify. Oh my goodness gracious. If Jean can amplify Nora's aura, then she should be able to handle that. And then some. God, Jean's so broken. Yo, Jean is so broken. Or if Jean amplifies Weiss's aura to create a summon that's big enough to combat this giant mech, hell yeah, dude. Jean is so OP mega hacks, dude. Oh my god. I just thought of that now. Alright. Oh, by the way, can we get some Fs in the chat? Can we get some Fs in the chat for this scroll here? Rip the scroll. Like, scrolls have been getting used and abused this entire series. Like, yeah, like Ruby's scroll got destroyed by Mercury in volume 3, right? Like, he like shot it out of her hand and he was like, let's keep this between friends. So she lost her scroll in volume 3, right? And then like Blake threw Sun's scroll. Or, yeah, she, like, threw Sun's scroll when Sun was like, oh, I'm just trying to help. Oh, no, she threw the scroll that originally, like, Sun got for her that he confiscated from... I think it was his scroll. Yeah, he was like, oh, I took a picture of the White Fang member in the mask in the market during Volume 4. And she was like, I don't want your help. And she just, like, yeeted it into the trees or whatever. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? And then a couple episodes ago, Ruby just yeets her scroll across the freaking backyard when Crow's not answering. I'm like, these people have no, like, justice. We need justice. These people have, like, next-gen technology, and they're just, like, abusing it. And then rip Blake's scroll, like, she just drops it, and Adam steps on it, and I'm like, god damn it. Like, imagine that was your phone on the screen right there. Like, goddamn. Scroll abuse. Yo, Scroll Protection Squad, where you at? That's the new one. That's the new trend we gotta start get going on. And it's crazy, too. It's like, I kind of want to make a video about that. I kind of want to make, like, a video. I mean, not to play down the effects of like, the tragedy videos, but I kind of want to, like, play up this like play dramatic music, have, like, a black and white filter, and just, like make a PSA announcement, like, millions of scrolls are destroyed every year because of bullshit like this. And then I just do a compilation of all the scrolls getting destroyed in RWBY. I think that'd be really funny. But yeah, I see that shit. I'm like, why? Like, another scroll bites the dust, and then she's just gonna get a new one given to her by, like, next volume or some shit. Especially if they're going to Atlas, who probably created that technology. Yeah, I haven't done a shitpost in, like, a month. So, I think it'd be good to create a new meme. I don't know if I'll have time to do it right now, but it'll definitely be something that I have in the back of my mind. I just need to figure out how I would put that together. But yeah, I've loved the shitposting memes that I've done this volume. They've been a little scarce since, like, the second half because I haven't really been actively thinking of ones to make. And I've had, like, a few RWBY videos that I've wanted to do. I wanted to do the reviews this year, but I fell behind, more and more behind. I focused on a few theories when the volume started, and then I focused on, like, the AMV videos that I did, me and Kevin did, and then I focused on shitposting, and then before I knew it, I was weeks behind an episode, and I was just like, there's no purpose of doing the reviews at this point, because I'm already, like, it's already, like, episode 10. There's 3 weeks left of the volume. So I think I'm gonna re-up and do, like, the review format that I'm gonna do for Genlock. I'll bring that back for volume 7 when RWBY starts back up after this volume. Because I had, like, thumbnails created too, and I had, like, early scripts for, like, the first couple episodes, but there would have been no time for me to plan that in because I liked the videos that I still made, you know what I mean? Like, I liked the Salem Sacrifice and the ice cream truck AMVs that I did, and the duality of Jean Arc theory, like the theory videos. I made so many great videos that I'm proud of, especially the theories, because I didn't think I could ever do theories, at least in RWBY. So I'm really proud of all the videos that I did this past year. But yeah, I have one more theory video that I want to work on. I should have worked on it, like, after the 3rd episode, but it's more of like, it's a video that I think would still hold up. It might not, like, garner, like, a crazy amount of attention, but it's still worth, like, at least putting forth. So I probably have one more theory video that I'll do most likely after RWBY ends. And then I'll also put together, I'm also going to be working on the RWBY Volume 6 Easter egg references and trivia video, similar to the one I did last year for Volume 5. But yeah, so I love how I had, like, these two images up, and I've just been talking about irrelevant stuff this entire time. But yeah, Adam, oh my god, I went on like a 2-minute rant about Adam at the end of the episode. I've hated the idea, or I've hated the concept in the community, and it's warranted, especially more than ever. But I've always tried to avoid it because I'm just like, there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. I've always avoided, and I've always, like, tried to distance myself from the typical Adam is just the stalker boyfriend who's obsessed with Blake, who can't get over her, and that's why he's following her around. The entire time I've been saying to myself, I'm like, there has to be more than that. There has to be more than that. It can't just be Adam, like, it was the same thing, like, with Naruto. It's the same thing with Naruto, with a particular character and Rin. I don't want to give it away completely, but everyone was saying, oh, he's willing to destroy the world because he got friend zoned. And I'm like, no, it's more serious than that. Like, stop boiling it down to this super trivial thing. But after this episode, I'm like, it be like that sometimes. I'm literally like, why? Because she even says it. She's like, you stalked me halfway across Anima. I left you. You're the one who's coming back to me. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, you're making it really hard for me to not see it that way. I still feel like there's a personal pain that Adam's dealing with, especially with the fact that he still has his eyes covered. And I'll go as far as to say that that's probably like an old, like, ribbon that Blake had when she was still in the White Fang. I saw a meme that somebody posted, like, the ribbon that she took off. the ribbon that she took off when she was on the ship to go back to Menagerie, and she like threw it into the ocean. Someone made a meme of like, oh, he like swam through the ocean to get there to find that ribbon, and that's what he used to wear. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But I think it's like an old one. Like it's torn, it's like worn and torn, and like his life must have been like perfect when she was in it. Like, and that's the thing. Like I'm willing to boil it down to like, okay, he's a salty ex-boyfriend. Sure, let's go with that. Especially since Blake is kind of saying it too. And he's also like, oh, you'll just throw away our memories? And it's like, clearly, times were good with them. And she was probably like the best thing that happened to him. Or she was probably the only good thing that was in his life. And then her leaving was like, it snapped. Like he snapped. And something happened that we just don't know. And it has to do with his eyes. And I was talking to somebody. I'm gonna take this headset off because my ears kind of hurt. She was I was talking about it at the end of my reaction, but like, this reminds me of for those of you who've played Kingdom Hearts, Riku does something like this in Kingdom Hearts 2, where he wears a black like ribbon or a black like bandana over his eyes, and he uses it to conceal the darkness in him. But he also uses it to kind of hide his eyes from the world. And he kind of uses it as a way to trick himself. He's like, I don't see the world for what it is. I see it for what... Like, he sees the perception of what he thinks the world is versus what it actually is. So it's like an illusion to him. And yeah, like Mickey Mouse even says it too. His eyes couldn't lie. And there's that saying of like, when eyes are like windows to the soul. It's like your eyes can tell, like, just looking at someone's eyes, or like even in anime or in shows in general, like the facial expression, especially when it comes to the eyes, can kind of paint a picture for you with the character, or especially when it comes to like invoking emotions. Oh,
Blake is at the phase of you are a
Zeno!
freaking psycho with Adam, and is really just ready to be done with him. I think Cordivine's gag is really not that great, and her character isn't fun. Also, Tovda is so good I managed to grab it with help from bro.
Yeah, I saw you mention it in the Discord earlier. Blake is at the phase of you're a freaking psycho with Adam. Yeah, I mean, because that's what it is. Like, she wants nothing to do with him, but he doesn't care. And it's like, okay, like, can we get a restraining order at this point? And it sucks that it's that black and white at this point, but again, like, there's still something there for Adam that we don't know. He covers his eyes, he hides his eyes from the world, or maybe he hides it from himself. Maybe it's like an internal thing at this point. You know, because I mentioned it a little while ago. I was like, it would make sense for him to get rid of the White Fang mask, right? It's like the White Fang, you don't associate with the White Fang. The White Fang dissociates with you. The White Fang is kind of like not even a thing anymore. So why would you wear that mask still? But then if you're getting rid of the mask, why are you still covering your eyes? So I think it's just more of a personal connection to why. That's why I don't think it's Silver Eyes anymore. And even if it is Silver Eyes, I don't give a shit. As much as I don't care anymore like I did back then, when I was kind of like, everyone was theorizing, oh, what if it's Silver Eyes? But we have the Silver Eyes now. We have that from the perspective of Ruby and Maria. So the big reveal of it with Adam would just be like, oh, okay, another silver-eyed warrior, or another silver-eyed person. It wouldn't really explain why he's been hiding his eyes this whole time, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's kind of where I stand with Adam right now. I don't know, like, see, the thing for me is, like, I'm a very what I see is what I get person. There are times where I'm able to look beneath the surface or beneath what's presented. It's just Adam's been so unpredictable for me. I don't know what their plans are for him even now. Ever since the first episode, too, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell they're planning to do with this character. Are they going to kill him off? Are they going to give him a redemption arc? Are they going to, are they going to touch base on like, Yang's situation with him? Is he going to be relevant this volume? Because, like, episode 11 is where he's really going to shine. especially since they started the show, or they started this volume out with his character short. So he has to be relevant, but are they gonna, like, how are they gonna leave him off? I don't know. I don't think Blake would be willing to kill Adam. If Adam does something that, like threatens the life of someone, that's the only time I can see them killing him to protect. I just don't know. Yang's on her way, clearly. But it's unfortunate that it's come down to this with Adam, at least, because he's an interesting character. I don't know if there's more that they can do in dragging him along for like, you know, it's like, why would you drag Adam along at this point? So yeah. Also, that's a really cool image right there. His moon slice, because they did like this lightning effect where he's like charging it up. This is my background from my computer, by the way. I don't know why. I'm not even that big of an Adam fan. I just thought that this was like such a sick scene where he uses the moon slice the first time, and I was like, screen cap, background from my computer. It's such a cool shot. I think it's because, like, it's everything else is darkened, and then his hair, the you know, and the outline of his suit is highlighted with that bright red. It's just a really cool shot. And Adam's just cool in general, whether he's a good person or a bad person. I like his fighting style. You know, whenever he shows up, he's willing to, you know, with the exception of Volume 5 finale, you know, like the end of Volume 5, whenever he shows up, he's a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, I really, I don't know, I like Adam for the most part. And I obviously have to show this entire sequence here. Animation, like great action, like a great little skirmish between the two of them. Blake holds her own really well against Adam. I don't think she'd ever beat him in a 1v1. Like, there's no fucking way that she'd beat him in a 1v1. Like, Adam's all about, like, that kill. Like, Adam, I feel like every move in Adam's arsenal is, like, a kill move. Whereas Blake is more of, like, defending and, like, getting around people. Like, she's a rogue. You know what I mean? She's not, like, if I were to categorize her in terms of, I guess, like a class or something like that, like an RPG almost, I think she would be like the rogue class. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how else to. She's just really stealthy. She's not really about the raw power that Adam can dish out. And I couldn't picture her in a million years ever beating him in a one-on-one, which is probably why she gets her ass. She doesn't get her ass kicked, but she's not really doing much against him either.
This one's for the chat.
Oh.
Who gets the reference of Adam being Zero from Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Spamming Zanjiki.
Okay. I mean, hey, I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The original one, too. Yeah, and Zero. I know people are making the Bird Box reference, too. Because I guess that has something to do with the I haven't seen Bird Box. I don't really watch any Netflix shows, so I don't get the hype of that show. I know people are talking about it a lot right now. But yeah, like a lot of people are mentioning, like, oh, Bird Box, and then other people are mentioning Daredevil because the whole blindfold or, you know, the covering of the eyes. Oh, another thing, Nier Automata, I think they do that in Nier too. Like, the main character, she has like the black band over her eyes. So I don't know if that's like a trendy thing. I don't know if they did. Again, like, it makes sense because if it's Blake's bow, it makes sense. And if it's something more personal and symbolic for Adam and his eyes and how the world views him, how he views the world, it makes sense. But yeah, those are some of the comparisons that I've seen people make in the fandom regarding Adam's look here. Oh, really quick, the biggest thing, yo, everyone in my Discord server owes Tenchi Kage, aka Will, an apology. We watched the first episode of Volume 6 the night it came out in my server for my Patreon backers, and Will, for everybody that was in that call for the first episode that we watched, Will was the only person that said that he thought that was the real Adam on the train. Every other person, like, was either refuting why that wasn't the case, or was just straight up shooting him down. And I was like, I stayed neutral about it, because I was like, I don't know, I'm not gonna get in the middle of it. But in the back of my head, I was like, I think I told him too that week, I was like, Will, if that ended up turning out to be Adam, and Adam shows up later in the series, you'll have the last laugh. So at least in my server, it was like this little thing among a small group of people, and I don't know if Will's in here right now, but yeah, like, I was so happy for him. I was like, yo, Will was actually right. This explains how Adam is here, because Blake thought that she saw him, and you could easily be like, okay, well, that was just her, thinking that she saw him, like she's seeing Adam the same way that Yang is, but that's a misdirect. It's like, oh, now that makes you think that really was Adam on the train, and she saw him in his recent outfit, which makes sense because she saw him last in the Volume 5 finale. So whether it was a hallucination of him, it would make sense of his outfit, because that's visually the last thing she saw of him. And if that really was him there, then it makes sense why he's here now. So yeah, Will, I got your back, buddy. But yeah, it was, and then that makes Dean Dudley's situation, like the comment that Crow made. He was like, someone left the staff entrance to the caboose wide open. It would be a shame if one of you lost your job before it even started. And then they were like, but I didn't do it. And he was like, well, I didn't do it either. It's like, because Adam showed up, stalked Blake, and got back, basically hitched a ride on the train without anyone noticing. And then he was on the second half of the train that Team Juniper cut off from everybody else that made its way to Argus. So he was always on that train going to follow Blake, but he just stuck around and laid low in the area until they made their way there, because their half of the train got derailed legitimately. So yeah, like, that is fucking nuts. Like, it's so crazy how that works together too for explaining how Adam got here. And yeah, I think it was a good misdirection. And it makes sense too, because, like, again, they set up the whole series. They set up Volume 6 by starting it off with an Adam Taurus character short. 9 episodes later, we get nothing of this man, aside from like a 30-second scene in the first episode with him killing off his White Fang members, and nothing. So these last 3 episodes are obviously going to focus on Adam and Blake, and them kind of squashing the beef, or at the very least, like, finalizing, putting a final nail in the coffin. I just don't know who's going to be in that coffin. I have no clue which one of these two it's going to be. Is Blake going to 1v1 Adam and beat him? Is Yang going to show up and just ignore her PTSD and body Adam? Is Yang going to struggle with the PTSD to deal with him? Is Yang going to struggle and Blake's going to be there to help her? Are they both going to tag team and take down Adam together? Because I think that's the best case that they have to deal with him. I think Adam could body any person in this group besides Crow, because Crow's like a professional huntsman. And Maria, but like, Maria's old. Like, in Maria's time, like, she'd run circles around Adam, I think. But yeah, because it's like, I just can't see where Adam would be after this. If they don't kill him, they arrest him. If they don't kill him or arrest him, then what else is there? Does he get away again? You know what I mean? Then we're back to square one. You have these characters still in fear of their life, or in fear of Adam when he'll show up again. It's so hard.
Just joining the stream.
Oh no!
Thought I'd donate to support the cause.
Thank you.
Hope all is well. I'm excited to see how this all ends.
Yeah.
I imagine Yang freezing up and saving her like she promised.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Wait, but Yang sees Adam too in the apathy house. Surely that's him too, cause Yang saw him in his new outfit as well.
No. Yang saw him in his Volume 3 outfit. Yang saw Adam in his Volume 3 outfit. He had like the white pattern, like, on it from his old outfit. It was just modeled in the Maya engine, so they basically used the model that they rendered for him that was used in the character short. But no, like, Yang saw the Volume 3 version of Adam, which makes sense because that's the last time she physically saw him. So no, that was a hallucination that Yang saw, but Blake saw the real thing, and that's what creates the misdirect there. From Blake's perspective, because it's like, if it's an illusion of Adam, it makes sense for the outfit why she saw it that way, and if it's a real version of Adam, it still makes sense for why she saw his outfit like that. So there's 3 episodes left. So in my mind, also, thank you guys very much for the donations. Josh, Velcro Z, thank you for you just joined literally at the end of the stream, and I'm so upset. I mean, it'll be uploaded after the fact, but we've kind of reached the tail end. Like, this is the last scene of the episode. Very short as well. We're not even 2 hours into this. We're not even 2 hours into the discussion. I can't even talk today. But thank you very much for the donation, bud. I appreciate it. And Louie, thank you as well. You've donated a few times tonight. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, we have episode 11, which comes out tomorrow for first members. We have the penultimate chapter, chapter 12, which comes out next week for first members. And then on January 26th, the chapter 13 finale comes out for first members. And that's going to leave us off for the volume. And they're obviously going to have a post-credit scene. And that's going to leave us off for the volume. They have to wrap up the whole conflict with Cordovan and company. They have to wrap up this Blake, Adam, and Yang, like, pyramid that they got going on. This three-way that they have going on. You know, I guess that was a wrong choice of words there, especially in this situation. They have this three-way dynamic that they need to decide what they want to do with it. They really have to figure out, like, are they going to deal with Adam once and for all? Are they going to kill him? Is this where his story ends? If it is, are we ever going to understand his origin? Is this where Adam gives us his backstory? Is this where we're going to learn about Adam? Are they going to misdirect us next week and or tomorrow and give us, like, the episode of his history of the White Fang, or like an actual Adam backstory of how he met Blake, how they got together, you know, these memories that he's talking about, these good times that they've apparently had, and express to us at least why he feels so strongly about not letting Blake go, despite the fact that she wants nothing else to do with him. Are they going to give us this grandiose Ignite-inspired fight that we've had, right? Yang's song, Ignite, like, that's literally a song to her explaining, I'm sorry, Armed and Ready is a song about how she's just gonna, like, beat the living shit out of Adam. Like, is that what we're gonna get? Are we gonna get an Armed and Ready sequence from Yang's perspective? You know, and they have to deal with the mental struggles of her properly. They can't, like, rush it in the next 3 episodes, which is why I still feel like Adam is not gonna be done yet. At least not right now. Or, at the very least, if Blake takes a hit to protect Yang, and that puts Blake in the same boat as Yang, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Blake doesn't, like, lose a leg, or lose an arm, you know, or lose a cat ear or something, I don't know. And then, boom, they're both on the same boat. That means Yang can stop feeling bad about, you know, or, like, can stop holding, you know what I mean? Like, holding a grudge, essentially, for what Blake did. And at the end of the day, they can understand the other person's pain physically and mentally, or figuratively and literally, I guess. But yeah, I can't see past this episode, at least with these 3. I can't see past this episode. I have to see it to believe it, for what they're gonna do with them, because there's just so much to touch base with. And then you have Cinder and Neo. Are we gonna get anything of them before they go to Atlas? Are we gonna see Tyrion and Watts again, or are we supposed to just assume that they find their own way there? the finale's in 3 weeks, and you'd expect them to either be on the way to Atlas, or by the finale they're going to arrive in Atlas, or arrive on the continent, and, you know, whatever happens from that point happens. But I don't know. I Burn Part 2 would be pretty sick, you know. They have a Part 2 for every other song, you know, Red Like Roses, Mirror Mirror, and, you know, technically, the From Shadows Part 2 is This Time, which was the credit song for the last volume. So technically that's the From Shadows Part 2, you know, and I Burn Part 2 would be pretty sick, especially if Yang, like, goes 1v1 with I don't know how she would do that. They would have to psychologically mess with this man to the point where he's just off his game completely, and these two are like peas and carrots, and they're just like peanut butter and jelly. They're just in tune, in sync, and they just like wreck him together. That's the only way I can think. That's the only thing I can think about. In terms of what happens to Adam after that, I have no clue. But no, Ignite isn't I Burn Part 2. Ignite is Ignite. Ignite is Ignite. Ignite is the equivalent to, like, another Weiss song that isn't Mirror Mirror Part 2 or whatever. So, no, like, at least that's... They haven't mentioned it in any capacity that it's Part 2. Oh, boy. But yeah, I am very excited for the episode tomorrow. Super, 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 super excited. You guys will definitely see my excitement by the end of the reaction that will go up tomorrow. I was so hyped when I realized Yang's on the way. Adam's already fighting Blake. Yang's gonna pull up in her freaking Bumblebee, and shit's gonna happen. And then as the episode went on, I was like, wait a minute. Yang's gonna be tripping balls. Yang's gonna be shook when she sees him. So I took this episode completely as a setup episode for what will be the big episode for this dynamic, at least next week. But then we have the finale, and then we have episode 12. Like, we got 3 weeks left. I don't know. Oh gosh, that hurt my head. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, that's everything. At least for me. Those are all of my initial thoughts of the chapter. We finished this discussion in less than 2 hours. This is my shortest live stream discussion that I've ever done. I guess it's just because it's short, sweet, and to the point. Like, it was really like an 11-minute episode with 3 scenes, but, you know, the scenes are again, it's a setup episode, so there's not really much that you can kind of add on to in terms of plot. But yeah, slow mode's gone, guys. The discussion is officially... I guess at this point, I'm just going to be talking in general, or I guess reinforcing what I've already talked about. My room is freezing, by the way. I have this blanket that I've been wearing this entire time because my room is a little chilly, or it just recently got a little cold, so I got to turn the heat on after I finish this up. But yeah, I have no clue what the next few episodes are going to bring us, but I think it's going to be, like, and the craziest thing, too, is I'm more anxious for Chapter 12 than I am for Chapter 13, because I think every volume, let me think. With the exception of Volume 1, I think every volume, I think the penultimate chapter, like the episode before the finale, was a crazy, like mind-blowing episode as much as the finale was, if not more so. Like, Volume 2 was where we first got, like, introduced to Raven. We got the Yang versus, we had, like, Yang versus Neo. We had Blake versus the you know, a little bit of Torchwick. We had Weiss against the White Fang Lieutenant. We had, like, the train and the Grim moving into, you know, like, arriving in Vale. So, like, that was, like, crazy high-strung tension. And then Volume 3 was the fucking shitstorm. Yang gets her arm cut off. Amber dies, Cinder becomes the Fall Maiden. It set up like Ozpin versus Cinder. Like, that's where shit just hit the fan. Torchwick died. Like, everything happened in Chapter 3, Episode 11. And then Volume 4 set up, like, the Knuckle of Grim and the flashback with Kuroyuri. And then last volume was the last volume was the Maiden fight, which I would say Episode 10 did a lot in terms of, like, a setup for that episode in particular. But yeah, the penultimate chapters are just as much hype, if not more hype, than the finales. So yeah, I'm very, very anxious for episode 12, and then episode 13 for this volume is going to be the finale. And technically, as of right now, or as of like the last couple chapters, this volume is already longer than volume 5, so it's already the longest volume in the series. The episodes aren't even done yet. And then I'm also wondering, like, what end credit scene are you going to leave us off with? Hopefully it's a lot better than the volume 5 one, because the volume 5 one was just like, oh, Raven used Ty as a teleport to go home faster, to get out of Mistral ASAP. I don't think she even talked to him. Some people speculate that she did, but in my head, I'm just like, the last thing she'd probably want to do is talk to anybody after dealing with dealing with Yang. I hope Adam... Oh, God. You could have worded that a little differently, the patriarchy. Anyways, yeah, I like I said, I liked the episode. I'm very excited for next I keep saying next week, but it's tomorrow. It's next week if you're not a first member. So hopefully you guys still enjoy it nonetheless, if there are any of you guys in here who aren't first members, which if you're not, you just got spoiled on the episode. So enter at your own risk. Rosa Lopez, can I just say that the fights 100% improved this volume? Turning in for the night. Good night, Murder. Thank you so much, Rosa, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's, I actually do want to go back and look at this fight really quick. This was such a great sequence. I loved it. Adam is so cool regardless, and it was kind of crazy to see Blake holding her own a little bit against him, even though I feel like on equal footing, like, Adam would body Blake. Like, no questions asked. But, she's more composed, right? She's not like this timid, frightened little kitten like she was in Volume 3 or Volume 4. And then in Volume 5, she, like, told him off. And now in Volume 6, she's actually, like facing off against him. She still seems scared. She's like, leave me alone and stuff like that. But she's not running away. And I think that's the parallel difference that is going to be the difference between Blake and Yang now. Like, Yang is going to be shook. Yang's going to be the scared one, and it's going to be Blake's responsibility, or Blake's going to take it upon herself to protect Yang the same way that Yang protected her back then. Hopefully, it's not as tragic. Hopefully, it doesn't resolve in a loss of limb for Blake. And, you know, hopefully it turns out well for them at least, because Adam's on a freaking warpath, and he's trying to, like, kill Blake right now. So imagine what he's going to do when he remembers what he did to Yang. You know, he's going to be boasting. He's going to be boasting for sure. But yeah, I really liked this sequence too. I think it was the angle, like the camera work, especially. Also, really quick, can these characters stop shooting bullets at Adam? You literally enable him to use his moon slice when you do that. I know she's doing it as a defense mechanism. Like, that's probably like the immediate reaction that you'd have, like, shoot to keep him at a distance. But if he blocks that, you're empowering him even more. She shot 2 bullets at him and he used 2 moon slices during this fight. I'm like, if you don't use bullets, at the very least, it'll make it harder for him to use his most OP attack. So that was another little thing. Okay, Sodium, let's relax there. I know people are a little high-strung about Adam, but let's not go to those extents. It's not that serious. But I appreciate the donation nonetheless, but I guess keep it civil. Thank you. Thank you, Dom. Appreciate it. But with all that said, guys, we're literally 1 minute 59 seconds, so we're about to officially pass the 2-hour mark. We're about to pass the 2-hour mark for the stream. My shortest live stream discussion, officially. Volume 6, Chapter 10. So, this is what it feels like to not ramble for like 6 hours straight. Which my longest stream, I think, was 5 hours. And I believe that was the Volume 4 finale. Yeah, the Volume 4 finale, I think, was that long. But yeah, overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. I hope you guys are excited for the episode as much as I am. As usual, my reactions will be posted tomorrow at 12 o'clock noontime on the YouTube channel. And tomorrow I'll also have my early access reaction for Chapter 11 on Patreon for people in the Huntsman and Huntress tier, if you guys want to be able to catch the episode the same day that it comes out for first members. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciated it. I'm actually really happy that I didn't ramble for like 2 hours on a 11-minute episode. But again, like I said, set up next week's episode. You can expect that one to be pretty long, depending on what we get tomorrow. But I'm very, very, very excited. We officially passed the 2-hour mark, so that's really great. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope for all of you guys who are new to the discussions, hopefully this entices you guys to check out the other ones that I've done. I know they're really long and probably outdated at this point. But like I said, I still have episodes 11, 12, and 13 that I'm going to be doing. These are going to be on Thursday. The only reason this one came out on Friday is because I had to reschedule because I wasn't able to do the discussion yesterday. But with all that said, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the episode tomorrow. Enjoy my reactions and all the other videos that I'm going to have coming out for you guys over the next couple days. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys so much, and take care. Bye!